And welcome back. This is Mr. Spinks again, and we are on the third video of Section 3.1. We're going to talk about if and only if statements. So I'm on the wrong slide. Let me get you on the right slide here. That's where we should be. If and only if statement. So a conditional was an if-then statement. Therefore, an if and only if statement is called a biconditional. So the biconditional is read, or is symbolized, excuse me. And I'll get you the symbol for that in a second. And is read if and only if. Okay? Now the symbol for this is actually very, very similar to that to the conditional. If you remember, the conditional was a one-sided arrow. Well, the biconditional is a double-sided arrow. Okay? Real simple. Looks like an arrow with points at both sides, or a line with an arrow at both sides. Either way, that's the biconditional right there. Now, let's talk about how to utilize it. Here we go. They're closing the dryer if and only if the dryer is running. Well, I see if and only if right here, so there's going to be a biconditional I'm going on there. They're closing the dryer. Well, that's the cue. If and only if, double-sided arrow, and the dryer is running, that's the P. Easy stuff. Let's move on down to the second one. On the second one, we've got that it is false that part. If you remember, this is one thing you got to be careful about. It is false that is a negation. But what we do is we write the rest of the statement out and then put the negation around that statement. So the rest of the statement is the dryer is running if and only if there are no clothes in the dryer. Let's start with the dryer is running. The dryer is running is P. If and only if is the biconditional. And there are clothes in the dryer is Q, so there are no clothes in the dryer is the negation of Q. And to get the it is false that part here, all we do is we surround that statement and put a negation in front. That's how we take care of that one. So those are all examples of how to do things in symbolic nature. Now we're going to talk about how to classify things. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to tell me whether or not it's simple or compound. Remember, simple means there is one thought conveyed. Compounds means there's two. Next, you're going to state whether or not it's a negation, whether or not it's a conjunction. Conjunction was the and. A disjunction, which was the or. A conditional, which was the if-then. Or a biconditional, that's biconditional, which was the double-sided arrow. So here we go. Bobby Gluen joined the Army and got married. Well, there's two things going on there, two different statements, which makes it compound. In addition, you're going to notice that and word right there, and makes it a conjunction. So together, it is a compound conjunction. That's how we classify. Pretty easy stuff. Continuing, time will go backwards if and only if you travel faster than the speed of light. Well, I notice there are two statements going on here surrounded by an if and only if. The two statements make it compound, and the if and only if make it a biconditional. Ooh, writing is fun. Continuing. It is false that Jeffrey Hilt is a high school teacher and a grade school teacher. Now, there's three things going on here, guys. Be careful. It is false that's a negation right there. In addition, I see an and, which makes it a conjunction, and there are multiple thoughts being conveyed, which makes it compound. It makes it three things. It is a compound. In addition, it's a negation. And the and also makes it a conjunction. This points out it is possible to classify something with more than two different terms. We can use a lot of them if we need to. Finally, the bottom one. If Buddy and Evelyn are residents of Budville, then they must vote on Tuesday. All right, I see if, then right there. That if-then automatically makes it a conditional. In addition, I see two different statements, which makes it compound, and I'm going to call that a compound conditional. All right, last one. On the last one, we're just going to basically practice a little bit more with symbols. So it says the tent is pitched as P, the bonfire is burning as Q. Well, if we write it out symbolically that the tent is not pitched, we would do that by saying the tent is pitched and putting a not in front of it, which is a negation. Pretty easy stuff. Continuing on, the bonfire is not burning or the tent is not pitched. Well, let's go to the top. The tent is pitched as P, the bonfire is burning as Q. So the bonfire is not burning is Q with a negation. Or is the disjunction, which is symbolized with the or symbol or the V. Finally, the tent is not pitched. The tent is not pitched is the opposite of P, which is negation of P. Again, a little weird, but it's not hard stuff. Finally, the last one, you should be trying this out on your own. The bonfire is not burning, however, the tent is pitched. The bonfire is not burning. Well, the bonfire is not burning is negation of Q. And the tent is pitched is P. The question is, how do you do however? Well, however, you got to think it's either and or. And in this case, it's got to be an and because both things are happening. Therefore, I will call it a conjunction and put the N in there. That's our third video.